She is being escorted by Eric and Mickey Alexander. She lives in Paragould and attends 7th and Muller Church of Christ. She has participated in track and field for 2 years. Other activities she is involved in are chorus, class vice president, and 7th and Muller Youth Group Leadership Team. She plans to attend Arkansas State and major in exercise science. Her career plan is to be a physical therapist. Liz's favorite memory from track is watching Molly almost have a heat stroke after running 2 laps in the relay. Our next senior is Berkeley Blankenship. He is being escorted by JJ and Whitney Blankenship. He lives in Paragould and attends Eastside Baptist Church. Berkeley has been playing basketball for 7 years, and he is also involved in chorus. He plans to attend University of Central Arkansas and major in marketing and pre-physical therapy. Berkeley's career plans are to be a physical therapist, and his favorite memory was playing for CRA for the first time in homecoming. Our next senior is Molly Chun. She is being escorted by Keith and Bridget Chun. Molly lives in Paragould and attends 7th and Muller Church of Christ. She has played soccer for 15 years, and the other activities she is involved in are quiz bowl, chorus, and student council secretary. She plans to attend Harding and major in electrical engineering. Molly's career plan is undecided, and her favorite memory from playing soccer at CRA was during her 10th grade season. It was the closest she had come to scoring a goal, and a player from the opposing team had told her, "Nice shot." Our next senior is Connor Cohn. He is being escorted by Chris Cohn and Sherry Wills. He lives in Paragould and attends Village Creek Church of Christ. Connor has played baseball for 1 year and played basketball for 8 years. He plans to attend Arkansas State and major in computer science. Connor's career plan is to be a software engineer, and his favorite memory in basketball is lake trips with the basketball team and Coach Gino. Our next senior is Gavin Juno. He is being escorted by Keith and Denise Wooldridge. Gavin lives in Paragould and attends Liberty Church of Christ. He has played baseball for 3 years. Gavin is planning to attend Harding and major in business. His career plan is undecided, and his favorite memory is from last season when they dogpiled on Wyatt Reed on his last practice. Our next senior is Jay Kern. He is being escorted by David and Carol Kern. Jay lives in Jonesboro and attends Valley View Church of Christ. He has played basketball for 12 years and baseball for 8 years. Jay is planning on attending Arkansas State and majoring in business. His career plan is undecided, and his favorite memory in basketball is beating Armorel in a 5-overtime game. Our next senior is Jude Stewart. He is being escorted by Jack and Jill Stewart. Jude lives in Paragould and attends 7th and Muller Church of Christ. He has played baseball for 14 years, and his other activities he is involved in are student council president, chorus, FBLA, and missions club. The college he plans to attend is undecided, and he is going to major in political science for law. Jude's career plan are to be a corporate attorney, and his favorite memory is playing alongside both of his brothers and being better than both of them. Our last senior tonight is Coda Yates. He is being escorted by James and Amanda Yates. Coda lives in Paragould and attends Center Hill Church of Christ. He has been playing baseball for 9 years. Coda plans on attending Curly's Ridge College and going to major in business. His career plans are real estate and construction development, and his favorite memory is the first time pitching.
All right, folks, we've got quite a bit of time until game time, so we want to encourage you to go down and get some photos with the seniors if you want. Seniors, you're welcome to come out on the court and get family pictures if you want to do that as well. And go down here by the concession stand and see some of the displays from the seniors' memories through the years as well.
We want to welcome you to this one tonight. We're about to do starting lineups. You'll hear those in just a second from Tyler Combs, our scorekeeper and PA announcer here at Crowley's Ridge Academy.
Starting lineup for tonight's game. First off for Marmaduke, number 5, Chance Mathis. Number 10, Jason Mathis. Number 22, Blake Gibson. Number 23, Ryder McBride. And number 32, Chandler Harrelson. And now starting for your CRA Falcons, number 1, Luke Summit. Number 10, Sam Marshall. Number 24, Jace Elms. And number 20, senior Jay Kern. And number 5, senior Berkeley Blankenship.
We thank you for joining us on this Friday night for a basketball game that really is not much more meaningful than bragging rights between the Marmaduke Greyhounds and Crowley's Ridge Academy Falcons. These teams have played each other hundreds of times over the years, and this will be their 4th and a half, I guess, matchup this season. They've played each other twice in the regular season, once in a tournament. Now tonight they'll face off, and I believe they faced each other for a half in Marmaduke's season opening jamboree. But here we go for the tip-off between the two senior high teams. Marmaduke grabs it, and they'll control the ball and bring it up the floor. CRA starting its 2 seniors tonight on the last home game of the regular season. There's number 20, Jay Kern, and now number 5, Berkeley Blankenship, our 2 seniors. Marmaduke swings the ball around. It's a collision down the lane. It was incidental contact as Jason Mathis ran smack into Jace Elms. Falcons were able to grab possession and come down, but they're called for the travel, and it'll go right back to Marmaduke. Both teams getting ready for their district tournaments. They're in separate conferences, so this will be the last time they see each other this season. Now the Falcons get in and disrupt Marmaduke's offense. CRA playing some energetic defense despite the fact that they've got to be tired. Now there's a nice pass inside, and number 32, Chandler Harrelson, is the beneficiary of that. Marmaduke puts the first points on the board tonight, 2-0 Greyhounds. Now Jay Kern squares up a 3. It rattles in and out, but Jace Elms is there for the rebound. He hustled, kicks it out to Blankenship to reset the offense. Blankenship drives. It's kicked out to Kern. He looks to drive and now thinks better, kicks it out to Blankenship. Blankenship loses the dribble. Back to Kern, now over to Sam Marshall, and Luke Summit will reset. Kern's got it again way outside. He puts up the 3 and it bounces out. Harrelson tracks down the board for Marmaduke, and here they come, looking to push the pace a little bit. Ball goes into Harrelson, and Jace Elms gets on the ground, chasing that one down. Knocks it out of bounds. A nice hustle play from the big junior. Marmaduke looking to inbounds. Ryder McBride throws it in underneath to Blake Gibson. He couldn't do anything with it, so they reset. Now Jason Mathis controls. He hands it over to Chase Mathis. Throws an entry pass into the lane, but it's swiped away by Jay Kern, who brings it up the floor looking to do something. He gives it to Blankenship. Blankenship picks up the dribble, back to Kern. Now swings around to Sam Marshall from way outside. That 3 is in and out, no good, but Blankenship gets the offensive rebound and draws the foul. Blankenship heads to the free throw line, trying to put the Falcons on the board with 2 minutes gone in the first quarter. Berkeley Blankenship, it's hard to say exactly how much he's meant to these Falcons since he became eligible to play. First free throw rattles in and out. Berkeley transferred to CRA in November of 2020. Had to sit that year, as you do when you go from public school to private school. Sat a year and watched. Second free throw, no good. He became eligible in November of last year and has really been a blessing for the Falcons ever since in a lot of ways, not just on the floor. He's a solid kid all the way around, and we've enjoyed having him in our school. Foul is called on the rebound. Number 10, Jason Mathis, picks that one up. That is his second foul. He's going to quickly come out of the ball game. Second foul on Marmaduke as well. Blankenship looks to push the ball up the floor, kicks it to Marshall, now to Elms out on the perimeter. Summit to Blankenship, now swings around to Marshall, back to Kern. Kern looking to make something happen. The Falcons are trying to exercise some patience, and they look pretty good so far in that regard. Blankenship, he's going to be called for the travel. So he got a little bit of a happy foot going there, trying to decide whether to square up a shot or to penetrate. Marmaduke will control. Blankenship has brought a lot of senior leadership to this team. He is a kid that knows a whole lot about the game and leads by voice and by example. Now Kern steps down the lane. It's going to be an offensive foul as Kern stepped in front and drew the charge. Foul is called on number 23 for Marmaduke. That's Ryder McBride. Ryder's first foul. Hope it's okay that I call that kid by his first name. We've known Ryder McBride at CRA for a long time. It's good to see him. Falcons have their offense going in the front court. Blankenship loses control, and it's grabbed by number 3, Carson Robinson. Robinson controls out front, now over to Mathis. Chance Mathis, I'm sorry. Now Harrelson controls and back to Mathis. Luke Summit cuts off his progress. Now to Robinson to Harrelson at 15 feet out. It's no good. Rebound's tipped around, and Jace Elms manages to come down with it. Marshall swings the ball up the floor quickly. Now they find Elms cutting to the basket. He makes contact. No call, no foul called. Elms put up a high arching shot that was no good, and Marmaduke grabs it and comes down looking to make something happen. Another charge is called as Summit did a great job stepping in front of number 22, Blake Gibson. 4th team foul on Marmaduke, first foul on Gibson. Give Summit a lot of credit there for beating him to that baseline and stopping the progress. We've seen harder contact tonight that wasn't called, but that one was a charge in the eyes of the official. Jay Kern over on the wing for the Falcons, now to Marshall, to Blankenship. They find Summit cutting, wide open for the layup down the lane. Summit's first 2, Falcons' first 2, and we're tied at 2. Just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. McBride's got it, he kicks it over to Robinson. They find Harrelson, but pass gets away, and Marshall grabs it. Interception for Marshall down the lane. He brings it up the floor, gives it to Summit, to Blankenship, now to Kern, who squares up a long 3. It's in and out. Harrelson grabs the board for Marmaduke. Marmaduke swings it around, looking to drive is Robinson. Now over to Mathis. He runs up against Summit. I believe Summit will get called for the push on the baseline this time. That's the call. It's his first foul, the team's first foul. McBride checks out, and number 1, Gary Bear, checks in for Marmaduke. They'll inbounds under their own goal. Bear finds Mathis. Now to Harrelson at 15 feet out. Underneath the goal. Bear's got it, now swings around Gibson. Now to Harrelson underneath. Shot won't fall. Elms grabs the board. Now Blankenship, the nice penetration, gets about 15 feet out and puts up that mid-range jumper. It's good. That is Blankenship's game. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes. He can hit them when he's open, but a lot of times he'll use that head fake and then drive in 17, 15 feet out, put up a very nice touch jumper. 4-2 Falcons have the lead. Now into Harrelson. Marmaduke gets it. It's going to bounce off of, I thought it went off of Falcons Marshall, but referees are closer to the action, and they say it went off of Marmaduke. Falcons will control, bring the ball up the floor. Jace Elms checks out. Lathan Brinkley checks in for the Falcons. Berkeley Blankenship brings the ball up for CRA. Now swings it over to Jay Kern. Back to Blankenship. He squares up for the three. Just when I said he doesn't take many, he squares it up. Can't get it to fall. And Marmaduke's looking to run now. They fly down the lane. They're going to get, I think, Jay Kern on the block. We'll see who they call it on. Yes, it's number 20, Jay Kern. Kern's first foul. Falcons' second team foul. It's going to put number 22, Blake Gibson, on the line for 2 free throws. 4-2, CRA leading with 2:14 to play in the first quarter. First free throw from Gibson is up and in. That'll make it 4-3. Second one. Also up and in. 4-4 is our score. Blankenship brings the ball up for CRA. We have a decent crowd on a Friday night home game that was kind of a last-minute schedule for CRA. We, like many teams, between COVID and ice and who knows what else, there's been a lot of postponements, cancellations, and reschedules. Have to get those conference games in. And sometimes those end-of-season non-conference games get lost. Blankenship with another mid-range jumper. He gets this one to fall along the baseline and gives CRA the 6-4 lead with 1.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Now Robinson controls for Marmaduke. Kern flashes for the steal, can't get it to go, and Baird has a wide open three that won't fall. Lathan Brinkley pulls down the rebound for the Falcons. With 1 minute and 20 to play, Blankenship brings it up, looking to expand the Falcons' lead. He gives it to Marshall, who's way outside, and that is just off. Brinkley goes up for the rebound. He fell down. Harrelson fell down possibly over Brinkley, and the referee called a jump ball. Falcons will control the possession here as Elms checks in and Kern checks out with 1 minute 11 to play. Falcons ball under their own basket. They'll inbounds now, looking to boost that 6-4 lead. It's kicked out to Summit way outside. He thinks about a three, but decides better of it. Now the ball kicks around. Brinkley tries to save it, but it was called out of bounds, and now the referees, one referee called it out of bounds on the Falcons. The referee with perhaps the better angle is shaking his head, no, that wasn't out of bounds. But nonetheless, it goes over to Marmaduke. So 6-4, Falcons lead with 1 minute to play. I don't think we're quite ready for instant replay on the high school level, although these teams, the AAA has said shot clocks will come into play next year for high school basketball. Robinson can't get the layup to fall, and the Falcons bring it back down the floor. Blankenship drives and looks for the shot. He's fouled. We'll see who the foul is called on. Foul's called on number 3. Carson Robinson picks that up. 5th foul on Marmaduke to this point. Robinson's first. I am 99% sure that Robinson is playing as a freshman. He's a talented young player and came right off the bench early for Marmaduke when Jason Mathis picked up a couple of early fouls. So he may be getting his legs under him a little bit from the senior high action, but you can bet he's going to be a contributor. Blankenship puts up his second free throw. It won't fall. Lathan Brinkley with the offensive rebound. He's fouled, and he'll get the and one. Foul's called on Blake Gibson, his second foul. So Marmaduke stacking up some fouls early. Brinkley gets that rebound and put back, and he'll have a chance for a three-point play here. Brinkley has really come along for the Falcons. He has always been a hard worker, always that kid that will get on the floor or body somebody up or just get around and bang around a little bit in the lane. Here's his free throw. It's up and good. Rattles home. So now it's 9-4. CRA with the lead with 30 seconds to play. Marmaduke looks to drive. They kick it to Mathis. He's got a path to the basket. It's up, no good. Harrelson with the rebound. He fights for it, gets a good look, puts it up and in. Now we'll have a warning on Marmaduke for hitting the ball out of the net. Just a warning about delay of game. Harrelson gets those two. It's 9-6. CRA, they're looking for the last shot with 12 to play. Summit to Elms, 8 seconds on the clock. To Marshall. Clothier calling a play, but it doesn't look like the team's picked up on it. Marshall's got it out front with 3, 2, 1 at the buzzer. Marshall buries the 3, and it's 12-6 as the quarter ends. Marshall's found his range after missing a couple early. That was a big one, 12-6 at the end of the first quarter. Spoke to you earlier about Berkeley Blankenship and the leadership he's provided his team as a senior. We had senior night festivities before the game started tonight, and he mentioned his favorite memory at CRA was getting to play in homecoming. Well, there was a lot of heavy lifting involved in that because our homecoming fell a week before his technical date of eligibility, and so his family and school worked together to petition for permission for him to play in that game. It was a non-conference game, and Blankenship received permission to play the first 4 minutes of action and then come out of the ball game, which is what he did. And I wish you could have seen it. When he came out of the ball game, he just lost his composure on the bench. He was so had missed the game so much, and was just so glad to get to play again that he was overcome with emotion. And like we said, he's been a leader for the team. So as we start the second quarter, Marmaduke opens with possession, but CRA takes it away on a steal by Jace Elms. Now the Falcons bring it down. Brinkley's got the ball on the baseline. He kicks it to Cole Oxley, to Blankenship. Blankenship can't get the layup to fall, and here comes Marmaduke. Mathis with the dribble, looking to make something happen. Now he kicks it out to Robinson, to Ryder McBride, who's back in the ball game. Now to Mathis. Robinson, they find Harrelson underneath. He's looking to score against Elms, but kicks it out to McBride. Good looking three, but it won't fall, and Elms grabs the rebound. CRA cruising up the floor, looking to do something. In just a minute, Jay Kern will check into the ballgame for the Falcons. Marshall shoots on the baseline. He can't get it to fall. Marmaduke pushes the action up the floor. Mathis with the ball, gives it to McBride. Now over to Robinson. Robinson to Bear. He's got the three squared up, but it won't fall. Elms hits the floor trying to get the rebound, and it's off of Harrelson. It'll go over to CRA. Jay Kern checks into the ball game. Senior for senior. Kern in, and Blankenship gets a rest here. Jason Mathis back in for Marmaduke. Marshall found underneath with a nice look from Jay Kern. It's 14-6 CRA. Marshall's 5th points of the game. Now Camden Wallace looks to drive. He's hurt looks like he's hurt his knee on that drive. He was called for the travel, but he looks to be in some pain with a knee bothering him. He's gonna limp off with assistance, and we'll hope that young man is okay. Chance Mathis will check in for him. At this point, this late in the season, you're just hoping that that's a temporary situation for that young man, and maybe an ice pack and a little rest, and he'll be good as new. Marshall brings it up the floor for the Falcons. Cole Oxley has the ball on the wing. He's double teamed, finds Marshall wide open on the baseline. Three-pointer won't fall. Elms comes in. Elms landed on Mathis, possibly went over his back on the rebound. Mathis was slow getting up, and honestly, there could have been a foul called there. I'm surprised there wasn't a foul called on Elms. Instead, a travel was called on Elms, and Marmaduke will have the ball. But Well, folks, I checked out on you for a while, and I'm sorry for that. We had a little extracurricular activity here, but we're back. The score is 14-6. 5:44 to play in the second quarter. CRA with the lead. Marmaduke with the ball. They kick it into Harrelson. He makes a nice post move. Now pivots, can't get the shot to fall, and Jace Elms grabs the board for the Falcons. This is a night and day difference from the last time these teams saw each other. In the NEA tournament, Marmaduke raced out to an early lead. Cole Oxley makes a nice play down the lane. Picks up the points. It's 16-6 CRA. Marmaduke grabs a timeout. They want to talk about this this deficit that's building up on them. 16-6. Falcons with the lead with about 5 minutes to play in the half. At the NEA tournament in December, these two teams faced off in the first round, and Marmaduke absolutely dominated from tip-off to the end of the game. I don't remember the final score, and that's probably by choice. Maybe a little bit of therapy involved in forgetting that score. The Greyhounds came out scorching hot and just ran away with it. The first time they played in the regular season, not counting the Jamboree, the first time they played, Marmaduke won at Marmaduke. About a week and a half later, they played at CRA. CRA came away with that one. And so the NEA tournament game was a bit of a surprise in terms of how handily Marmaduke won. And then tonight, CRA's out to the 10-point lead. So it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde swing back and forth between these two ball clubs. 5:15 left in the half. It's 16-6. Coach Ritchie, years and years of coaching experience, called that timeout. He'll settle down his team, our team, and the crowd with it. It was probably a good call for everybody. Now Blankenship tips the ball away from Jason Mathis, kicks it over to Chance Mathis after he regains control. Sam Marshall cuts him off as he drives baseline. Elms falls down, grabbing the rebound. And there's a foul called on the floor. Chance Mathis fell down trying to get the rebound. He crashed into, I'm not sure if it was Oxley or Blankenship. Looks like Blankenship will be shooting a 1-and-1 now, as that foul was called on Chance Mathis, as he basically, foul could have been called on gravity. He fell down and just happened to land in the vicinity of Blankenship. I think he hit him on the knee or the leg. Enough contact for the foul to be called. It's Chance Mathis's first foul, 7th for the team, puts the Falcons into the 1-and-1, and Blankenship hits the first. He'll get the opportunity for the bonus now. 17-6 is our score. Blankenship, second one rattles in and out. Harrelson goes down. Harrelson goes down kind of on top of Oxley. Oxley's got a bruised shin out of the deal, but the Falcons had possession because they called a travel on Harrelson. Now they kick the ball to Kern on the inbounds. His three goes in and out. It's knocked out of bounds. Oxley and number 22, Blake Gibson, went up for the ball, and I guess Oxley tipped it out on Gibson. Now Oxley will throw it in from the baseline for the Falcons under their own goal. He kicks it out to Blankenship out at the three-point line. He drives, comes back out, gives it to Kern. Now backs it out near midcourt to reset the offense. Marshall's got the ball over to Kern. Those are two of our three-point shooters most prominently, Marshall and Kern. Marshall's got it now at the stripe. He shoots, it won't go in. It bounces up and over the backboard. It's an open look, and that's what Coach Clothier would probably say he wanted from his junior shooter, Sam Marshall. It wouldn't fall, and Marmaduke controls. 17-6 is the score. The Falcons with the early lead. 4:20 to play in the half. Justin Mathis looks to drive, takes the big step down the lane, and Berkeley Blankenship is there and blocks it out of bounds. Luke Summit will check in for the Falcons and give Oxley a quick break. Everybody firing on all cylinders for the Falcons tonight. Some of their perimeter shooting isn't falling just yet, but they've still got the 11-point lead. Now Ryder McBride puts up the three. It won't fall. Gibson Gibson grabbed the offensive rebound as he looked to pass it out to the perimeter. Jay Kern fell down, and the charge was called on Gibson. So Gibson's got 3. 8th team foul. That's a player control, so no, oh, what a look. Berkeley Blankenship from half court lobs it in to Jace Elms, who went up over everybody. Elms picks up the basket. The Falcons' lead grows, and Marmaduke's discontent grows a little bit. So they trail now by 13 to a team that they absolutely throttled just a month and a half ago. Kern now tips the ball away. Chance Mathis grabs it, looking to drive. Looks like Summit's going to get the call for the foul on the body there. Summit's 2nd foul. It's the 3rd team foul on the Falcons. Now Robinson's going to check back in for Marmaduke, and Oxley checks back in for the Falcons. Summit comes out, and Gibson comes out. Gibson's got 3 fouls for Marmaduke. Summit's got 2 for the Falcons. Marmaduke inbounds to Harrelson. He kicks it to Robinson. Now over to McBride. He's open on the baseline for 3, and there he's found the range. Ryder McBride with a pretty-looking three-pointer draws Marmaduke to within 10 at 19-9. Now they're looking to trap as Blankenship drives through the pressure, kicks it back out front to Marshall. Now over to Blankenship on the baseline, and he's going to be trapped in that corner. Turns it over. Chance Mathis steps into the passing lane. He gives it to Justin Mathis for the quick 3, and just like that, we've got a ball game. 19-12. Marmaduke's creeping back into this one. Jason Mathis with that three-pointer. As I recall, Mathis had a big ball game in that NEA tournament game. He was on fire that day, and the Falcons simply could not find a way to cool him down. Kern looks to drive. He spins over to Blankenship, now over to Marshall in the corner. It goes up and in. Won't fall. On the rebound, they're going to get the freshman Robinson on the box out of Jace Elms. That's one of those fouls of hustle. Robinson, the freshman, had boxed out the bigger man in Elms, but Elms, just by way of being a bigger, stronger kid at this point, got up over him and got the rebound, and the foul was called on the freshman Robinson. His 2nd foul. Elms on 1-1. Gets both to fall, and the Falcons' lead climbs back to 21-12. 9 team fouls on Marmaduke, 3 on the Falcons, and that's really the story in many aspects tonight. There's a nice cut back by Mathis, and he's going to be called for the charge again. CRA has taken charge upon charge upon charge tonight. Mathis called for that one. Jason Mathis, and that's his 3rd, team's 10th. And quickly, Gary Baird gets back into the ballgame for Justin Mathis. Frustration is definitely growing for Marmaduke as they have had numerous player control fouls called against them. And the Falcons just keep on going. Now Blankenship finds Elms open in the lane. Elms kicks it back out to Kern, to Blankenship. Blankenship drives, finds Oxley. Oxley to Marshall, now to Blankenship again. And Kern's going to be open near the concession stand. The 3 rattles in and out. It won't fall. We're going to have nearly the identical foul called on Robinson on a box out, this time of Cole Oxley. So Robinson again whistled for that foul of hustle. The referee is explaining it to Coach Ritchie, and I'm trying to read lips and motions. The referee's saying that Robinson had him hooked around the back on the box out. I'm not sure that would be completely accurate, but then again, I could be wrong. It's 21-12 regardless, and Cole Oxley now will be shooting 2 in the double bonus for the Falcons. Oxley, the junior, gets the first one to fall, 22-12. Oxley 2nd, up and in. Falcons hitting on all cylinders. It's 23-12. Falcons keep that lead at around 11 points. Blankenship flashes the passing lane. It won't fall. McBride's wide open for that three, and there it is again. McBride picks up three. It's 23-15. And if he's open, he's going to put that shot in every time. Now Kern looks to drive. He gets around the double team and kicks it to Blankenship out near midcourt. Now Marshall's got it. He slings it down on the baseline to Cole Oxley. He's in some trouble, and he finds Kern. Kern has it tipped away. Robinson grabs it up. Here comes Marmaduke in transition. It's 23-15, and they need to make something happen. There's Bear, who rattles in a long three. 23-18, and Ty Clothier says, that's enough of that. Let's talk this over. So with 1:07 to play, Marmaduke's cut into that lead. It's now 5, 23-18 CRA. (23-18) with about a minute to play in the first half. CRA holds a 5-point lead. Blankenship tries that long lob again, and Marmaduke says, not this time. Chance Mathis comes down with it. He finds Harrelson underneath wide open. He can't get it to fall. He and Elms tangle up on the rebound, but to no consequence. They separate and go their separate ways. CRA controls in their half of the floor now, looking to make something happen. Clothier finds Oxley cutting to the basket. He reverse layup. Up and in. Falcon lead goes to 25-18 with 35 seconds to play. That was a beautiful pass from Blankenship to Oxley, and Oxley with the presence of mind to go to the reverse, use that rim to his advantage and block off the defenders. We had a break in the action. I don't know what it was, but Coach Ritchie from Marmaduke found it entertaining. You'll be hard-pressed to find a nicer guy than Coach Ritchie at Marmaduke. Just salt of the earth, and I don't know if he's laughing sarcastically or if he's genuinely laughing at whatever happened. But regardless, Marmaduke retains possession. They're playing for the last shot. Down 7. We're down to 10 seconds. Mathis dribbles out front with Oxley guarding. Now he's in a little trouble. Berkeley Blankenship steps into the passing lane, puts it up and in. Not in, I'm sorry, puts it up. Foul is called on the layup. Blankenship will have 2 free throws with 3.7 seconds to play. Foul is called on Chance Mathis, his second foul, team's 11th. Blankenship has a chance to tack onto this lead with just 3.7 to play in the half. 2 free throws for the senior. First one rattles up and in. 26-18 now. Blankenship will take a look at this second one. It's beautiful. Nothing but net. 27-18 is our score. Marmaduke's going to look to put some points on the board with 3.7 to play. McBride had a good look at the buzzer, but just couldn't quite get it there. CRA will take a 27-18 lead into the half. This one has been controversial is probably the word for it. The Marmaduke side not at all happy with the officiating they've seen so far. Once again, Coach Ritchie's done a good job of controlling some of that. We'll see what the second half holds. Welcome back to this one. It's 27-18, CRA with the lead as we get ready to start the third quarter. This one has been, shall we say, exciting, and we'll hope that it can be exciting in the second half without some of the extracurricular activity. We'll hope that these guys can play hard but play under control, and that we'll have an uneventful ball game here. Marshall with a deep three to start the third quarter. It won't go. Ryder McBride grabs the defensive rebound out at the perimeter. Luke Summit steps in and taps the ball off of McBride's knee or foot, something, and the ball goes back over to CRA. So the Falcons will have the ball back. And quickly, Berkeley Blankenship checked back in to start the third quarter. Summit drives. He couldn't get the pass to Elms. Now Blankenship steals the pass. He gets two looks at it. Can't get either of them to fall. So the Falcons come away empty there on a pretty good opportunity. Marmaduke controls now on their end of the floor. Harrelson with the, he gets the good lead pass into the lane, turns around and puts it in. So to start the third quarter, Harrelson with two, 27-20, CRA with the lead. That's Harrelson's sixth point, I believe. Kern fakes the three, looks to drive, steps in and draws the contact. No, they're going to call an offensive foul. They're going to say that Kern initiated the contact there, and so the ball will come over to Marmaduke. Player control foul on Jay Kern, his second foul, first of the half on either team. 27-20 with a minute gone in the third quarter. Marmaduke brings the ball up the floor. Kern checks out and Cole Oxley comes in for him. Marmaduke now out front. Gibson gives it over to McBride, now to Chance Mathis, back to McBride and to Jason Mathis, who thinks about the three. Now to Gibson. He looked at an open McBride but thought better of it. Now Mathis shoots the three, it won't fall. Elms grabs the rebound, falls down. His feet were tangled up with Harrelson. They're going to call a hold on Harrelson as Elms went down. That's Harrelson's first foul. So he's been in there banging around all night. He's actually, I think, had a bloody lip at one point. That is his first foul of the ball game. So he's managed to play a very controlled ball game with the amount of crashing and banging that goes on in the lane sometimes. Falcons swing it around to Blankenship. He's open for three in front of the student section. No good. Harrelson with the rebound. Gives it to Chance Mathis. Falcons look to cut off his progress, but they find McBride. Wide open three. Tell me if you've heard that one before. McBride hits that open three, 27-23, a 4-point lead now for the Falcons, 6:14 to play in the third quarter. So I mentioned earlier that we know that name around these parts quite well. Ryder McBride and his siblings were students at CRA for several years. Sometimes you get into a ball game like this and a call doesn't go your way or something happens on the court and you get a little upset. It's easy to lose perspective. Back in January, we had a funeral for two beloved members of the CRA family, Larry and Melinda Brinkley, who passed away on the same day in December. They were the grandparents of number 14, Lathan Brinkley, on the Falcon team. At their memorial service, several of Lathan's friends were at the service to support him. Among them, number 23, Ryder McBride. They were classmates for many years, and I can't tell you how deeply I was touched to see that Ryder checked out of school that day to come to the funeral of his friend. These guys will battle. They'll come away bloody and bruised sometimes from basketball, but at the end of the day, they are good kids, and they know what the right thing is. And it's just good to see them maintain that level of friendship and respect and compassion for one another. Falcons control. They're swinging the ball around now. Marshall's got the ball. He's picked up his dribble, and he's in a little trouble. He lobs it out to Cole Oxley on the baseline. Now to Summit. Summit drives. He's in amongst the trees, kicks it out to Elms. Elms drives, puts up a shot, gets it to fall. So that's Elms' sixth point of the ball game. 29-23, the Falcons get a little breathing room. Mathis now over. He's picked up his dribble. He finds McBride cutting baseline. McBride dribbles all the way through the lane, back out now to Gibson. Gibson swings back to McBride. Blankenship's got a hand in his face. Now Gibson's got a lane. Jumps up at about 15 feet out. It rattles in and out. Won't go. Elms with the rebound. Blankenship draws a double team and passes quickly to Summit. Now Summit back to Blankenship, over to Marshall. Marshall finds Elms out under the lane. Falcons moving the ball in and out very well, but can't get a basket out of it as they turn the ball over under the goal after the ball was tipped away. Elms tried to make a play on it, but it tipped out of bounds on him. So with 4:50 to play in the third, CRA holds a 6-point lead, 29-23. Gibson controlling the ball for Marmaduke. Now to McBride, to Justin Mathis, now to Chance Mathis, now to Harrelson. Gibson from deep outside, squares up the three, it banks and won't fall. Harrelson tracks down the long rebound, gives it to Mathis. Mathis shoots and can't score, and Elms grabs another rebound. I wish I was tracking rebounds tonight. I think Elms has quite a few so far. Blankenship over to Summit. Swings it back over to the senior. Now Summit, high arching pass over to Sam Marshall, who puts up the three, no good. Marshall drops his head a little as he wanted that one to fall, but he's got that short memory of a shooter, and he'll be back. Now McBride puts up a three for the Greyhounds. It won't fall. Cole Oxley grabs the rebound and heads out in transition. They find Elms under the goal. He gives it to Summit. Summit's shot is blocked, but he finds the rebound and controls back out to Blankenship. Falcons reset their offense. Summit looking to drive. He now kicks it out to Blankenship, to Marshall. Marshall doesn't have an open look. Now here's that lob again from about 20 feet out from Blankenship to Elms. The shot's not there, so Elms kicks it back out. Now Blankenship for three. He had the range, but it wouldn't fall. Justin Mathis pulls down the long rebound for Marmaduke. 3.5 minutes left to play. Marmaduke swinging the ball, looking to make something happen. It's a nice seal off down the lane. Harrelson did a nice job to seal off his man and give a wide open lane for Chance Mathis, who drove down and got the layup. 29-25 is our score. Now Marshall dribbles around Gibson. Gibson's going to be called for the hip check, I think. That's going to be Gibson's fourth foul, and that gets Carson Robinson up off the bench quickly for Marmaduke. He'll check in for Gibson. Team's second foul of the half of the quarter. Elms checks out for CRA as Latham Brinkley comes in. So that story I told you a minute ago, now we've got McBride guarding Brinkley. Those two longtime friends. Berkeley Blankenship controls out to Marshall. Marshall now has his pass stolen by Robinson. Chance Mathis controls, brings it up, looking to drive for Marmaduke. They find Robinson out front on the three-pointer, on the baseline, I'm sorry, and he puts it in. 29-28. All of a sudden, we're back where we started, nearly a tie ball game. Falcons have a 1-point lead, and they need to put some points on the board. Summit gives it to Blankenship near the top of the key. Now he gives it to Marshall. The ball is tipped. Kern's going to check into the ball game, and Marshall's going to have a seat for a minute. I'm not sure what the referee saw. Now Marmaduke tips the ball away. And Jason Mathis, will go in for the layup. He's cut off by Luke Summit. Summit cut in front of him, made a play on the ball, but fouled him. Mathis ended up on the floor, but no harm to him. He'll be on the line for 2 free throws. 2:13 to play. Mathis can give Marmaduke the lead here. First free throw's up and in. By my count, just his fourth point of the ball game, and that's a big difference between the NEA tournament game and this one. He had a phenomenal game there at the ASU First National Bank Arena. He gets both free throws to fall, and Marmaduke's got the lead, 30-29, with 2 minutes to play. Now they're employing a half-court trap. Blankenship passes out of it to Oxley, but now Oxley has the ball tipped away by Chance Mathis. He goes in for the layup. It's up and in, and you can tell Marmaduke's feeling it now. They've played through some difficulties. They had a pretty rotten first half, and now they're beginning to feel like they found their footing a little bit. CRA now has the ball stolen away. Elms has it tipped away from him out front. Coach Clothier is not at all happy with the change. Now McBride from outside, it won't fall. McBride had another open look. And it looked for a minute like it was going to fall and give Marmaduke a nice size lead. Now Kern finds Brinkley. He finds Oxley, who gives it to Elms under the goal. Elms thought he had a man out on the perimeter, but he did not. Instead, he throws it out into the CRA student section. You can hear the noise. That's the Marmaduke fans. They've come to life. CRA now trails 32-29 with 1:20 to play in the third quarter. I opened the ball game talking about senior Berkeley Blankenship. I need to talk to you about number 20, Jay Kern. Kern played basketball all through junior high and high school here at CRA. Last year, like was the case for a lot of schools, last year due to COVID and all sorts of other things was kind of a lost year. Jay Kern decided he wasn't going to play his senior year. He had just decided he was tired and wanted to think about other things. As Harrelson gets an open look under the basket. Harrelson gives Marmaduke a 34-29 lead. Berkeley Blankenship finds Elms, who finds Kern. Gives the pump fake, puts up the shot. It rattles. Oh, 3 bounces and out. It was nearly a shot that would have gotten the CRA crowd off their feet, but instead Kern will have 2 free throws. Kern decided about a third of the way through this season that he missed basketball after all. And his first free throw now is up and good. 30-34, the Falcons trail as Sam Marshall checks in for Cole Oxley. So Kern went and talked to Coach Clothier and said, would you allow me to return? Clothier said, absolutely, but you're going to have to work your way back into it. As Kern hits the second free throw, 34-31, Marmaduke leads with about a minute left in the third quarter. So Kern slowly worked his way back in as Marmaduke controls out front. Now, three-pointer put up by Justin Mathis. It won't fall, but Robinson grabs the offensive rebound and resets out to McBride. Now Jace Elms steps in, makes a steal. Jay Kern grabs the ball. He's fouled by number 32, Harrelson, his second foul, team's second foul. I'm sorry, team's fourth foul. CRA will bring the ball up with 27 seconds to play, trailing by 3. So Kern has slowly worked his way back into being a regular part of the rotation for this team, and he has given them some big minutes and some big scores of late. As Marmaduke steals the ball from CRA out near the top of the key on the Falcons' end of the court. So with 10 seconds left, Marmaduke's looking to add to their lead. 5 seconds to play. McBride, open 3. It's up, no good. Harrelson with the rebound. He puts it up. Looked like he should have been on the free throw line. I think Elms probably fouled him there at the end of the third quarter, but it's not called. Coach Ritchie making his feelings about it known. Nonetheless, Marmaduke owned that quarter. They came in down, I believe, 27-18, and when the quarter ends, they're up 34-31. So a solid third quarter for Marmaduke there. here we go. Last home game of the regular season. CRA trails by 3, 34-31. Like we said earlier, it's as meaningless as it can be when it's CRA and Marmaduke. Kern picks up a bit of a cheap foul. It was a legitimate call, but a foul that he would like to have back for sure as he bodied up McBride trying to play for the steal way out away from the basket. That's Kern's third foul, CRA's third of the half. Now the ball is tipped away. McBride regains possession and he kicks it back out. Jason Mathis controls for Marmaduke, looking to make something happen. He gives it over to Bear. Bear to McBride, to Robinson. Now McBride's got that three-pointer open. He shoots it, it won't fall. Lathan Brinkley grabs the rebound for CRA. Berkeley Blankenship, steadying presence coming up the floor. He gives it to Marshall, who thought about the three. Now he drives. Gives it to Jace Elms for three. And how about that? The rare three-pointer from the big man ties up the ball game with 7 minutes to play. 7 minutes, 10 seconds, it's 34 all, Marmaduke CRA. These two teams and these two schools know each other very well. Year after year after year, they've faced off, and you could rattle a long list of names of legends from both schools who have been involved. Some of this generational basketball. Now, Jason Mathis with the nice drive down the lane. He's getting things going a little bit. He's been kind of stuck for most of the game. Certainly not the kind of point knife that he's accustomed to putting up. He gives Marmaduke the 36-34 lead, and they're employing that extended trap at half court. Kern had an open man in the lane, but he couldn't get it to him. Marmaduke controls the basketball. I was talking about generational names, and Carson Robinson controls the ball. His parents played at Marmaduke, both of them. As Coach Ritchie grabs a quick timeout, perhaps to prevent a 5-second call. Holds on to that possession. He'll call a 30-second timeout. 6 minutes, 12 seconds to play. Marmaduke leads 36-34. Marmaduke will control the ball near the Falcons concession stand on the sideline. Mathis throws it in. He gets the ball over to Gibson. Gibson drives the baseline. Now he's called for the technical as he's called for his fifth foul. So Gibson's player control foul was his fifth. He's out of the ball game on the fouls, but he also gets a technical for having some words for the official based on the call. So CRA should come away with several free throws here. Well, I'm sorry, it'll be 2 free throws in possession since that was a player control foul. Jace Elms will go to the line for the Falcons. He'll get 2 here. Elms puts in the first. So Gibson is done for the night, his fifth foul. Elms' second free throw rolls out. CRA will have the ball at half court. 36-35 now. For CRA, it's Marshall, Kern, Brinkley, Elms, and Blankenship. CRA looks to inbounds. They finally catch Blankenship out near half court. Now Marshall squares up from 20-some-odd feet. He can't get it to go. Elms grabs the rebound. He's fouled going up. Harrelson didn't care for the call. It's his third foul. 16th foul. So Elms is back at the line for 2. Elms grabbed that rebound as he went back up with a head fake and the ball in his hand. I think he raked across the face of Lathan Brinkley. Elms' first free throw no good, so CRA still trails by 1. Elms' second free throw up, rattles around and goes in. We're tied again at 36 with 6 minutes to play. What else would you expect from these two ball teams? We'll go down to the wire. McBride has the ball on the wing for Marmaduke, gives it to Robinson. Robinson over to Mathis. Mathis throws it in. Kern steals it away, saves it into Elms, who gives it to Blankenship. Blankenship throws it to Elms, but he wasn't looking, and it looks like they're going to call a foul on Harrelson as Blankenship, or as Elms fell, might have gotten bumped by Harrelson as he ran past looking for the opening. Elms was not at all looking for the pass. It was going to bounce away and probably be a turnover, but the referees felt like Harrelson caught him with an arm reaching in for that steal. So Elms is back at the line. This will be a 1-and-1. First one is up and no good, and Harrelson grabs the rebound. 36 all, 5:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Mathis controls for Marmaduke, now to Robinson, now to McBride. McBride trying to get it to Chance Mathis, I'm sorry. Over to Robinson, now to Jason Mathis. He looks to drive, thinks better of it with Marshall on him. Jay Kern knocks the ball out of bounds. It's going to stay with Marmaduke. Checking into the ballgame for CRA, Cole Oxley and Luke Summit. Jay Kern and Lathan Brinkley check out. They gave the Falcons some valuable minutes there. That's been in short supply for CRA this year. They've played most of the year with 7 at most players. They've now got freshmen on the bench as Jason Mathis puts down a pretty three from outside about 21 feet on the wing. It was a pretty shot, 39-36. That was reminiscent of NEA tournament action. He was just on fire that night. Now Marshall's got the ball on the wing. He thinks about a three, but thinks better of it. Kicks it out to Cole Oxley, who drives. Oxley gets down the lane, can't get it to fall, and there's Harrelson, big man for Marmaduke with that rebound. He's had a good night for them under the goal. Marmaduke comes away with it. Play a very disciplined half-court set. They look at some shots, but typically wait for the very best they can get as Mathis drives the lane and can't get it to fall. Marmaduke thought they were fouled on the rebound. Regardless, it comes away to CRA. Elms has the ball knocked away on the sideline in front of CRA's student section. Falcons inbound, Blankenship to Summit. Back to Blankenship. 39-36, Marmaduke with the lead. 4:12 to play. Sam Marshall answers Mathis's three with one of his own. Right in front of the student section, Marshall puts it in, and we're tied up with 4 minutes to play. Just get used to this seesaw, folks. That's probably the way this one's going to end. Somebody's going to be brokenhearted. McBride controls for Marmaduke, right in front of his team bench. Now over to Mathis and to the other Mathis. Swings back to McBride. Once again, that patient, disciplined offense of Marmaduke, looking for that shot. McBride to Mathis. He's got it wide open. That one won't fall. Elms grabs the rebound. Blankenship's going to stop on this side of half court. Set up against that trap. Now he gives it to Summit, who gives it back. Now here comes Robinson and Mathis working on that trap. Elms with a high arching pass back out front to Summit. Blankenship now kicks it to Oxley at the free throw line, or top of the key, I'm sorry. Now to Marshall, to Summit. Summit's got a double team coming, but he dribbles up high. Bounce pass up high to Blankenship. Blankenship has his pass knocked away. Harrelson grabs it for Marmaduke. Tie ball game with just under 3 to play now, 39 all. Foul count, Marmaduke has 18 fouls, CRA 3 team fouls. Mathis driving to the basket. He's going to be fouled with the body. Luke Summit trying to cut him off, but too much body there. He called for that foul. That'll be Summit's fourth, I'm sorry. He checks out of the game alongside Jace Elms as Brinkley and Kern come back in. Now Marmaduke finds Harrelson underneath, a very soft touch from about 6 or 7 feet out. gives Marmaduke the 2-point lead, 41-39. Falcons beginning to crumble a bit in their half-court set under this extended half-court trap of Marmaduke. The Falcons have had several turnovers and near turnovers. Kern can't get the handle. Now he picks it up and gets the dribble back out. He finds Marshall wide open out front. It rattles in and out. Won't go, and Jason Mathis with the rebound for Marmaduke. Mathis looking to get something going. Slows it down. He hands it off to Chance Mathis. Now that Mathis looking to drive. I get confused quickly here. Jason Mathis is called for the travel. Marmaduke faithful not real pleased with that call as Jace Elms checks back in and Cole Oxley checks out. The problem for CRA right now is to solve this extended defense of Marmaduke's. They have not had a good time since Marmaduke moved to this trapping defense. CRA's had trouble getting the ball past about 19 feet from the goal. Now Elms has the ball on the sideline. He makes a pass behind Marshall. Marshall can't get it. Marmaduke picks it up. Marshall steals it from them. Now Elms drives down the lane, forced up the action. So Elms put up a wild shot. It wouldn't fall. Lathan Brinkley grabbed the rebound. So in Brinkley grabbing the rebound, he was fouled by number 5. Foul by number 5, Chance Mathis. Scoreboard showing that's his 5th foul. Referee still sorting out what's going on here. I'm not exactly sure. I think a technical may have been called. So the referees are making sense of what happened, trying to sort out exactly what's going on. Mathis has fouled out of the ball game. Bear will come in for him. Looks like a technical was also assessed on that play. I'm not sure if it was a player or bench technical. I suspect it was on a player, but I'm not going to speculate further than that. Regardless, Brinkley has 2 free throws. He hits the first, and he hits the second. So that was the 10th team foul on Marmaduke. Those were the free throws Brinkley's shooting. Now Coach Clothier says, you're feeling good up there, go ahead and shoot the next one. So Brinkley will have a 3rd free throw here. This is probably the technical. He puts it in as well. Now here's his 4th. We'll see if he can keep the streak alive. Oh, that one rattles out. Brinkley has given the Falcons a 1-point lead with 1:39 to play. Coach Ritchie wants to call a timeout as CRA prepares to inbound at half court. It has been a wild one, folks, and we will hope that it can end calmly and with sportsmanship. And we know things get, folks get passionate and things get crazy in basketball, but I think both of these teams would agree we want to be healthy, we want to be whole for our tournaments that start next week. CRA hoping that they'll get Jesse Ballou back in time for their district tournament next week at Hillcrest. Falcons have been without Jesse Ballou for a large part of the second half of the season. He has had a wrist injury followed by a high ankle or shin injury. They're hoping that that one might heal in time for him to play next week. They do have some reserves that have come up as freshmen. CRA has 5 freshmen on the bench tonight to help out as needed, and a 6th who couldn't be here tonight. CRA is also without Carson Zarlingo, a junior. Zarlingo had knee surgery in December after tearing his ACL. Now Berkeley Blankenship gives it to Sam Marshall, back to Blankenship. That trap is very aggressive for Marmaduke. Blankenship throws over it to Jace Elms. Elms finds Brinkley wide open underneath. And they're going to call a foul on number 3, Robinson, his 4th. He fouled way out front before the pass could go into Brinkley. So Marshall will be on the line for 2. As CRA's in the double bonus now. They've got a 1-point lead. Marshall's got 2 free throws coming. First one no good. These are opportunities that you have got to take advantage of because Marmaduke will make you pay for them. Marshall's second free throw, up and in. So it's a 2-point lead, 43-41 with 1:20 to play. Team foul count 10 for Marmaduke, 4 for CRA. McBride hands off to Bear out front. Bear looking to do something with the ball. Marmaduke's got 2 players out with fouls. Now Jason Mathis drives the lane. Comes down. No call on the foul. He missed the shot, but Harrelson was there. A couple of nice head fakes, and he ties the ball game with the putback, 43-43. 43 seconds to play. CRA, will they play for the last shot or will they play for the best shot? Ball's tipped away. The referee called it a kick. I feel pretty secure in saying it was not a kick. Now we've got another technical called on, I'm not sure who. Someone, I think, at the end of Marmaduke's bench, whether it was a fan on a fan or a member of the bench, I do not know. Technical foul is going to be called on a fan being on the floor, responding to the call. I'll be blunt, it was not the right call. I'm not sure what led to the technical after that. This has been a wild ball game. No two ways about it. Lathan Brinkley is headed back to the line for the Falcons to shoot the 2 technicals. Coach Ritchie is trying to get some clarity about what happened. One of his administrators, Shane Robinson, is out there. Shane's son, number 3, Carson Robinson, been playing most of the ball game for Marmaduke as a freshman. So now we're trying to, Marmaduke just seeking clarity on what the call was and why. And they seem to be getting a handle on things. Well, I've said a few times here in the fourth quarter that this has been a wild one, and I'm not sure that that's the correct adjective. We've had multiple technical fouls called tonight. You'd like to see the game played without them. The referees not feel like they have to call them. Fans not feel like they deserve to get them. The rest of us just have to watch and wonder. CRA will inbound. It's 43-43. And Marmaduke's going to foul to stop the clock, I guess. I'm not sure that was what Coach Ritchie wanted to happen there. It was a bit of a touch foul out in the backcourt. It's going to send Berkeley Blankenship to the line. Gary Bear picks up his first foul. The Greyhounds are well within their double bonus now. They're well over. Blankenship's first free throw gets the senior night roll and falls in to give the Falcons a 1-point lead. 34.6 to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Blankenship's second free throw. That one's nothing but net. So a 2-point lead now. We've got a timeout on the floor. It's getting tough now, getting a little chippy. The clock will need to be reset on that timeout. CRA, I think, called a timeout before the ball was inbounded. So CRA was granted a timeout before Marmaduke inbounded, but some seconds had ticked off the clock there before recognition of that occurred. So we're going to put some time back on the clock. I think it'll be 34.6 seconds to play with CRA ahead 45-43. So here we go. We're going to get the clock reset correctly. See if they get the time put back up there. Right now it says 31.9, but we're going to see that corrected, I believe. There's a so 35.9 is what's on the clock now as Marmaduke inbounds. They'll have a little more time than I thought they would, but that's the way things go. They're looking to make something happen. It's nearly stolen out near half court by Sam Marshall, but Jason Mathis controls. Now Harrelson's got it. Now the freshman Robinson puts up the three from outside. It won't fall. 18.1. 18.1 left to play. CRA leads by 2. Coach Ritchie asking something about the clock. I'm not sure what his concern is on this one. If he thought the whistle blew and the clock should have stopped sooner. probably lobbying for some extra time on the clock. So CRA is going to have the ball under Marmaduke's goal, and Marmaduke's going to apply full court pressure here. They inbounds to Berkeley. Blankenship, he's got the ball. He's going to look to dribble up the floor. Ball is tipped out of bounds by Harrelson, who did a nice job stopping Blankenship's progress. Blankenship might have gotten a bicep in the throat there, but no foul called. CRA will inbound now at half court. Marshall's going to inbound the ball for CRA. Coach Ritchie screaming instructions to his team, looking for that steal or turnover. Marshall looking to inbounds. Yeah, that's going to be a backcourt violation. Marshall threw it to Blankenship, who took possession on CRA's end of the floor, and then his momentum carried him into the backcourt. As I recall, that's backcourt. Now Clothier's going to lobby for his side of that, but it's going to be a backcourt violation, and the ball's going to go back over to Marmaduke. They trail by 2 with 10.6 seconds to play. 45-43 is our score. Marmaduke's going to have the ball at half court. They're going to inbound with 10.6 to play, trailing by 2. Robinson inbounds to Jason Mathis. He shakes Sam Marshall. The ball gets away. They all get on the floor. Jay Kern and Ryder McBride tie up. It looks like there may be a foul called. I'm not sure if it's a jump ball or a foul. It's a foul called on Jay Kern. His 4th foul. CRA calls a timeout to talk about this. 4.8 seconds, 2-point lead for CRA. It has been dramatic this entire 4th quarter, and it's going to end with some drama one way or the other. We'll see what happens in just a moment. My good friend KJ Spillman has been keeping score online for me tonight, and he and I have been talking about this backcourt that was called on Berkeley Blankenship just a few minutes ago. And I have to fess up that it's been 30 years since I played basketball, and my memory on that rule may be fuzzy. So we'll just say the referees called what they called. That's been the way it's gone all night. They call what they call, and we live with it, whether we like it or not. That's the way this goes sometimes for both teams. And in an hour or so, we will have all had a cheeseburger and we'll be able to move on and do something else with our time, and hopefully whoever wins will still feel great, and whoever doesn't win will feel a little better than they did when the final buzzer sounds tonight. So Marmaduke now making the case that they should inbound the ball in front of the CRA concession stand, and they're right. That's where the foul was called. Referees seem confused. They seem to be on the same page, and they're going to get that corrected. They are correct. That's out on the wing near the concession stand. That's where Marmaduke should have the ball, and that's where they're going to give them the ball now. 4.8 seconds to play as we still jostle over that final inbound positioning. 4.8 to play, and now we're where we need to be. Ryder McBride will inbound for Marmaduke. We'll see what play Coach Ritchie has drawn up. It comes into Bear, now to McBride. It is blocked out of bounds by Jace Elms. He came out of nowhere, got up off the ground, and threw that ball into the reserve seats for the Falcons. Wild, dramatic. What else could we say about this one? Marmaduke controls with 0.9 seconds on the clock, down by 2. Their best hope is a lob under the goal, a catch and shoot in one motion. Harrelson puts it up at the buzzer. It's not going to fall. And the final tonight, 45-43, CRA comes away with the senior night win.